Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pissed Off Parent Show. I am the Pissed Off Parent. Just wanting to say hi to everybody and kind of jump into it, kind of out of the gate here. Just trying to get everything together. Do have some information. Well, actually, kind of discussing HB 3379, which is the Equal Shared Parenting Bill. Also wanted to kind of brag here a little bit. Today, I got one of my holy grails here. Got finally, let's see here, which finger? There we go. Finally got Scorpion Knock, which means I'll have to change some of my intro around, but I'm pretty happy with that. I've been looking for that one for a long time. Anyway, got Taryn on. Hey, good evening. All right, let's again dive into it here. I just kind of want to get right to it because everybody's busy and I probably need a nap or something. Just kind of jumping in here. We had the session. Well, we had the hearing or committee thing last week where a number of guys went down there and said their piece on a number, I believe, around 15 bills, and went through just talking back on those different bills and expressing their opinions, concerns, and things like that. Had lots of probably some information will be coming out of that, and then we've had some other things that have happened, trying to keep us high level here before we really get into it. But the big thing that a lot of people are looking at is the House Bill 3379. Then of course there's a companion bill on the other side in the Senate. But with HB 3379, again, that's our equal shared parenting bill. We've been trying, well, I think around for about 2 decades, trying to get equal shared parenting legislation passed in Texas. And every session we seem to fall short. This time around, we had Representative David Cook. He's actually there in the middle. Put together this bill and submitted it, and it's actually, no other way to put it. It's been sitting, not doing anything, not up for a hearing or anything at this point. We've got about, I went and pulled up some days of interest here, but it looks like we've got until, looks like May 8th is the last day for the committees to report on any bills, just to kind of get that out of the way. So we've got about, a week and a half, 2 weeks left, and then it's all over for 2 more years. Some of the things, and I guess we'll get into it, and then I'll kind of talk about kind of what I really want to get into, because it's almost, I'm hoping that the different folks that are on the JJFI are listening in. I don't know why they listen to me, but hopefully they're listening in, because I just, I don't know, I looked at this a little differently. I won't say his name unless he says okay, but I I actually got a call last night, and the person made a really good point on just the reason, with what seems to be this HB 3379 kind of languishing and not going anywhere, and gave me some ideas, and I kind of put those together, and I'll show, and we'll talk about those. But we've got all these bills going through. We heard last week about the crack bill that's not going to penalize mothers in the event they admit or they get found out that they were taking illegal drugs while they were pregnant, which surprised me that bill would even be written or heard. Whole different topic, but we've we're trying to find a way to get these guys to put that bill forward, because we know that once it goes to the floor, it's going to pass. This bill, if you don't know anything about it or outside of the overall, what the bill's about, and we can, we'll definitely, we can look at it. It's got 27 folks that have signed on. It's bipartisan. It is wanted by judges, lawyers, obviously, normal folk like you and me across the state of Texas. It's something that's sorely needed, and it's the presumption of equal shared parenting. Not even that it is doesn't matter what happens, you're going to do it. It's the presumption that when mom and dad walk into the courtroom, they're going to be treated as equals. The Texas statutes say that there should be no discrimination based on gender, sex, religion, all those things. But with the data that we have and what was, actually, what, if you don't believe me, the OAG repeated the exact same thing. He's got the numbers that in the 90 plus percentile, moms get custody, priority custody over men. It's just, again, the cold hard facts, and there's no good reason for that. It definitely couldn't be 90%. But here we are today, and we see in society, the impacts of that. I mean, we have peer-reviewed studies. We have all this information that shows that equal shared parenting is best for children, for families. I mean, it's been kind of beat to death. I mean, these guys over the years, I recognize most of them. They've all received the literature from everybody. Uh, it's uh, it's just so confusing why it's not going anywhere. Just, I guess, full disclosure, there had been some issues that happened earlier in the week. Um, they are what they are. And it may be part of the reason why this bill and others that would be favorable towards equal shared parenting, don't move forward. I'm not going to probably get into the ins and outs of that. Just that, there's just, apparently some issues going on. And part of why I came on tonight and did the research that I did was to maybe try to persuade the people in the JJFI to maybe think about this and look at the bigger picture of that, as opposed to, individual things. And actually, before I continue, I just want to go ahead and make sure everybody in the world knows these are the pissed off parents comments. This is my opinion, my position, and all that. I do stream to a number of different areas, some on my channel. A lot of them aren't on my channel that I control or own. Other people have been, nice enough to, we have a partnership, and but these are my opinions. These do not reflect anybody else's. Just so we're all on the same page. And if I say something wrong or whatever, and someone gets mad, get mad at me. Don't get mad at any of these other groups. Okay, now that I think I've got all that out of the way. All right, so we've got these guys here, and what's been up here for a while, and I think I have the link to it as well that I'll throw up in the notes. But Tamora Jones, 512-463-0794. There will be kind of a call to action, and I gotta say this. Be beyond nice and respectful in any comments or anything that you leave for them. We're all frustrated. We're all ticked off. We're all whatever. But if you like to leave, actually, we'll see if I can find a way or include a link for emails or something like that. But we've got to keep all the emotions and all that stuff out of it. Dancing a little bit further towards the line of what happened. Apparently, there was a conversation, and Rep Dutton Jr. Was upset at some things, and apparently other members have been called, and they don't appreciate the way they were talked to. Not getting into the ins and outs of all that. I would just say at this point, with the 2 weeks that we have left, to swallow your pride, anger, emotions, whatever, and just do the logical thing. And I'm going to ask them to look at the bigger picture. I'm going to look at everybody else to look at the bigger picture. This is for our kids. We need to do right by them. Okay, trying to say things, not say things. All right, so going to Legiscan. We have the bills, and again, this is just we saw the pictures, saw the names. These are all the sponsors for HB 3379. And what I did, just to kind of walk everyone through, this might get a little boring. It's nerd talk, but this I also kind of give you an idea of what it takes to kind of do some of this stuff. And I would then hope that other people would go, hey, I could do that, or I'd want to learn how to do that, or whatever, and start doing that, because getting more people involved, of course, spreads the wealth around. Anyway, so I what I ended up doing was, and you probably want to actually let me blow this up because I know everyone's got eyes like mine, old man eyes. What I did is I took the 27 representatives. Sorry, I had to laugh there. Taryn made a comment. Data is sexy. um, but what I did was I took each of the representatives, and I was able to finally get a hold of back-end databases to pull in information. I was actually almost shocked. Again, this is the government, but I was almost shocked to see how difficult it is to tie in district information to real, mappable data. And then I, of course, had to, quadruple check all my numbers to make sure they are accurate. And, because I don't like to put out information that's incorrect, at least if I can help it. Obviously, if something is wrong and made a waiver, I update it because I want facts to be out there, not personal opinion or known incorrect information. Anyway, so after all that nonsense and a couple hours of normalizing data, I had to do a lot of code writing. Anyway, I got the 27 um, representatives, and then their primary sponsors or co-sponsors. So we have a total of 27 of them, and then you'll see there's R's and D's on there. So this is a bipartisan issue, and then what district they were in, and then the county. Now again, certain areas will have more than one district for the county. Yeah, but I condense it all in the primary one should be where that's at. So what it is, I looked at it and I said, okay, so we've got these counties, and I said, how many people? Because just to give everybody a little history lesson, these representatives are we're their constituents. We elect them to then go to Austin to then represent our interest in the future of our state. That's at least that's what they taught me in government class when I went to grade school. Now this was up in Missouri, so maybe Texas did it differently. I don't know. I'll assume they didn't, but that's how it works. So, and again, not going to right or wrong, whatever. And not picking on names, but I'm the first person on the list here, David Cook. The folks in Tarrant County said he's our guy. Right, wrong, or indifferent, he's our guy. Tarrant County, and again, District 96 has a population of 108,591 or 593 people. So anyway, what I did is I took the entire population explosion, blew that down to the total population of constituents that have signed on. They have been, they're representing 5.2 million people, or just to do the math for everyone, 18% of the Texas population. Again, there's 29 million people in Texas, and that's man, woman, child. I mean that's everybody, not just voting age or voters or whatever. That's the population, because again they don't represent just the voters or just so and so. They're supposed to represent all the constituents. So to kind of boil that down, 18% of the population said we want equal shared parenting. We think it makes sense. We think this is the way to go. To look at the data a little bit differently, went ahead and put this up on a map. I was going to save it and I'm going to try to save it and publish it after I was having some server issues, and it's not pushing out to the right location. So I didn't want to mess with it too much, or it would get destroyed. But it's an interactive map. But so I took that information that was on that Excel spreadsheet and I plotted it in all the different areas. And so when you see a blue dot there, and you'll be able to go to it once I upload it, it shows what county it's in, who the representative is, what state it is, and then the population of people that are in that area. And you can color code Texas by the population and see where the dense population, as opposed to I know people are going to make fun of that, but the population, how many people are in a given county based on numbers and everything. I know this is boring stuff, but what I really kind of wanted to get what I wanted to come across with here is that for HB 3379, with all the challenges, issues, whatever, with this getting this bill out there. I mean, I think we all know that once this bill hits the floor, it's going to get passed. I mean, it's a good bill. Obviously, it sets the presumption, and for those that don't know, and it keeps getting repeated over and over and over, but it's the presumption of equal shared parenting. So mom and dad walk into court, and they both are looked at equally. In the event facts come out that makes it where it makes sense to where one parent should not have equal shared custody, 50-50, then at that point they would then change it. The one I like to use, my default excuse reason is one parent is a pilot, and I'll just say he is out of town 3 weeks out of the month flying. Obviously, equal shared parenting is not going to work in that scenario. And there's other scenarios where it makes sense, and I do the 3379 does have a residency restriction on it. I think it's 20 miles, which I would think makes sense because school zones and all that fun stuff. And a lot of care was taken to put the right bookends around this bill to where it makes sense. And then, of course, at the end of the day, the judge, as we all know, good or bad, the judge has ultimate authority anyway in the courtroom, so he can do whatever the heck he or she wants to. At the end of the day, that's where we're at. But this is just saying that we have equal shared custody, and just also, while I'm just going down this path, um, a lot. I think everyone, and I do have it, and it probably won't be. Let's see, is it this stock? Nope, that was HB. No, that's another one. Okay, I thought I had it somewhere. I obviously don't. I don't know why I didn't have it. Oh, well, yeah, I do. Actually, I lied. I do have it. Let's see. Or I could still be lying. Yeah, I'm still lying. Darn it. Okay, I lied. I thought I had the document that came out from the Family Law Foundation with a number of things in there. Just to get it out there in the open, just because you have equal shared parenting 50-50, even if the shared model doesn't go through, which is actually Harold Dutton's bill, even if that doesn't happen, there's still going to be child support. The Family Law Foundation and others that are critical of the bill or any type of equal shared parenting, they do like to say all the time, well, they just want to get out of paying child support. There's 10 million, responses to that affect that kill that argument easily. It's a talking point there that really doesn't make sense for anyone that understands how that process works. But just to get it out there for everybody, there is still going to be times that you'll have child support, and from the people I've talked to, that's not even on their radar. I'm sure there's going to be some that do. It's just the way it is. And just to offer personal experience, when I did have 50-50 equal shared parenting with my two boys, I did pay. I paid actually $1,000 a month in child support, and I had 50-50 equal shared parenting. And that's a whole other fun story. I mean, I have 100% custody now, as I've had for a number of years, and actually, I get paid child support. So, if any detractors are tuning in or wanting to get sound bites, all of your arguments stop with me. I have 100% custody. I receive child support, and I still think all this stuff should end because it's not what's good for children. Anyway, but the pattern I have, and kind of what I'm wanting to get out to Mr. Dutton, Mr. Cook, the other, let's see here, 27 folks. And well, it's really the I take that back, it's not these 27, all 27. It's the people that are on this committee. They had a private session the day after we had the committee hearing, and then we got the new list, which I'll put that up here in a second. But what I want to really just kind of convey and ask Mr. Dutton, and the rest of them, again, I don't know who, but again, Mr. Dutton he's one of the people that has the ability to take it to the floor. My understanding is that any rep can actually call to have something taken to the floor. More than happy to be fact checked on that, and I may be wrong, but some other documentation I have shows that it could actually be called to a hearing. And again, willing to be fact checked on that. But again, my plea, my whatever to Mr. Dutton and anyone else that is holding this bill back is based on, and again, I'm an analytical guy, based on the numbers here. 18%. I'm gonna try to look right at the camera here, and you probably can't see my eyes because of the reflection in my glasses. But Mr. Dutton, 18% of Texas has said we want equal shared parenting. 18%. 5.2 million Texans have through their people up through the representatives has said we want equal shared parenting. For whatever reason, we don't even need to get into it. That bill has not moved forward. Please think about the 5.2 million Texans. Think about, of course, the children, everyone impacted by this issue. And again, I'm sure you're more than aware of the emotional side of it and all the other different pieces of it. Come on. Do the right thing. I implore you to please put this bill up at the committee. Let it ride or die on its own, ride or delete. Sorry, hope YouTube doesn't take me off for that one. Let it ride or not based on the merits of the bill. Give it a hearing. Have the committee members vote on it. Let's see. Have each of the committee members vote on it and let's have her do. I mean, again, I don't know how else to put that. I wish I had words more eloquent and something else, but I look at 5.2 million people that are telling you we want to see equal shared parenting. And that's just from those areas. I'm sure other representatives have said the exact same thing. I mean, we've got just in this map, again, 29 million people. There has got to be more than that out there in wanting to have equal shared parenting. And I would implore you to, do what's right by those, at the very least, 5.2 million people, 18% of the Texas population, and put this thing up for a vote. You still, not a whole lot of time, but there's still time to do it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I don't remember the past history and previous sessions. So obviously I'm going to be a little bit jaded or biased or whatever. But you have the ability and the power to do this. Please do the right thing. That's really a lot of what I wanted to talk about this evening is hoping that somebody that can talk to Mr. Dutner that has some type of influence over him, positive influence over him, can say this crazy old guy that has a thing with Transformers, did this crazy document and spreadsheet and all that, and fact checked all my numbers. And dude, 18% of Texans are essentially saying they want this thing. This is. I know we've all got personalities and we've all got, whatever. Let's not let this be one of them. Let's just get it done. I mean, that's pretty much what I have to say on that topic. I'd love to hear anyone else what their thoughts on it. When you see these numbers, were they surprising? I mean, when we see, pull the Excel spreadsheet back up, had people kind of thought about this, that it's not just 27 representatives, Republican and Democrat, that have said we want this. It's 5.2 million people, 18% of the Texas population, and that's something. I mean that is a lot. 18%. When you look at other bills, and I won't be snarky and mention the one that I talked about earlier, but when you look at this as compared to other bills, it's a very popular bill, and people all over, no matter where in the political spectrum you are, they all understand the need for equal shared parenting. And I'm talking about the presumption of equal shared parenting, not a requirement. Is the presumption, and that it's just something that we need to. Again, Mr. Dutton, you just I just ask you to do the right thing, and if you want to talk about it and you think I'm nobody, but call me. I have all the data, all the information, which I'm assuming you have. I mean, you've dealt with this with other reps and advocates and stuff over the years. You definitely have this information. But more than happy to go over it with you again. I mean, no problem. Anything I can do to convince you to do what's right by children. And that's pretty much most of what I had to say. I did want to talk about, what we do have upcoming, that could be either a segue or something else to talk about. But we did get next week's, which will be on Wednesday the 19th, the public hearing notice where people can go down and talk about different bills and do, their for or against. And I'm hoping I kept it. Some people have asked about where they can. Boy, did I not? I think I forgot to include it. Where they can go. Actually, tell you what, it's actually on this document. Here we go. Comments. And I'm going to put this in the link. I'm not going to get too much into a video I made Friday. I'll be honest, I had been up since about 5:30 a.m. Doing work in my real world and doing all kinds of things. And I'm going to be perfectly blunt and honest. I've been on here for months talking about the retroactive child support bill, amongst others, providing commentary, analysis, data, links, bottom shelving it. And I'm going to be blunt. When I pulled up the PDF that showed who all responded, it pissed me off. And for those that don't know, for the most part, only one person submitted comments on the, well, actually, I'm sorry, on the retroactive child support bills in particular. Only one person submitted commentary on it, with information, or I'm sorry, just provide anything. And you all are listening to him right now. And then as far as the other bills, there was a couple other groups, nothing to do with equal shared parenting, that submitted testimony on from homeless organizations, the Attorney General's office, or people working for them. This was our opportunity to show them, retroactive child support. When it passes, it's going to be pretty bad. And I've been telling people for quite a while, and if people aren't going to do it, that I mean, I've got my cartoons, my videos. Y'all deserve what you get because I can't do it all. I mean, we have to have people involved. That's just the long and the short of it. There's no other way around it. But anyway, that's that. On the committee hearing that's scheduled for the 19th, I won't spend too much time because, again, I spent a lot of time before and nothing happened. But if you want to go down to Austin, I think for people who probably saw some of the videos that have come out, where you go down, you give your 3 minutes testimony for or against. We've got about 15 bills. There is one that here, there, whatever is the I'm gonna butcher his name, Schatzlin, and it's HCR, and that's it's not a bill, it's a resolution, and it's affirming that fatherhood is essential to the development of all children. And to summarize it real quick for everyone, it's basically saying that fathers are important. And it talks about home fatherless, the data that we all know, and we all the information that we all definitely know. But it's a resolution that's going to be confirming it. The cynical old man in me doesn't see really the point of it. But that's me personally. I'm old and cynical, so I think the time would better be spent. I'm glad it was done. If there was going to do something, that we did this. But I just think time could be spent doing other things. And again, it's not a knock against Shatzine or anyone else or efforts or whatever. It's just I'm a data guy. I'm just kind of a no nonsense person. And I look for efficiencies, and let's instead of talking about kind of the issue and where we're at here, let's fix it. I mean, that's versus talking about it and repeating stuff that we already know. Let's just get in there and fix it. Going back to the list here, there are. I think we're actually going to see another. I think we're going to see another retro. Oh, there's actually. Yeah, some more bad stuff coming actually. And some other things. Yeah, I might as well just go ahead and get into it. Let's just jump in. Hopefully, you guys will bear with me, ask any questions. Like it's one of those I can't help myself. It's like a fish hook in the mouth. I just want to help people and get people educated and fixing. If you don't want to, hear, from me, and you want to look at it later, go to pissedoffparent.com. A lot of this information is out there. But anyway, so this item here, it's the child custody orders. And I'd say, Mr. Cook, probably don't. If you're watching, stop watching. I'm going to be critical and very cynical because I know all the data, and you're more than welcome. You were more than welcome to go to pissedoffparent.com and pull up the section on custodial interference 2503. And since you are representing Tarrant County, you can see how I've talked to a year ago with Sheriff Wayborn, and he promised that he was going to work on the issue because I provided data, your data, police records and information on custodial interference and how bad it is and why nothing's being done. And, this, and as we all know, it's a state jail felony, and nothing's being done at this point. On this part, there's part of me that's cynical. Because again, it's a state jail felony. Why not? But I do see, and it's one of those things where I'm like, I can see the thing behind it, because again, the teeth of the state jail penalty hasn't done anything for a number of reasons, but uh, putting doing the may in here of not more than $500 as a fine, that would be that penalty. If made a state jail felony to speed and no one did anything about it, maybe the ticket would, I get that line of thinking, adding some additional stuff to it. But again, I've got the old man cynical, and I've got the pragmatic. I can kind of see this. What I would argue is, if anyone does go down, and I'll be submitting comments, which I've provided the link for, but to change that language from it's a, I would say, I'd hold everything else back and say, it's a great bill. Change the word may to will, and then I think we're good to go. Because that way it's a non-discussion. It will happen, and as we all know, the difference between may and shall is pretty significant in this arena. Saying words like may could really mean nothing, and then shall is they are required to do it. All right. Let's just kind of run through these. All right, I'm gonna skip over 1520 because that's gonna go into a whole bunch of other stuff. It's nothing that I even want to jump into. You can look at it on your own. 1546. I believe this is the one that I'm not friendly towards at all. Let me just make sure that this is the first time I've looked at it since I've looked at everything. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is the one that I am not a fan of. And here's why. So 1546, kind of in summary, is basically the attorney can go after you with pretty much whatever means they want to pay attorney fees, various costs, and things like that. Judgments, and they basically have a huge hammer. So let's see. Let's go through. Yeah, and proceeding under yada yada yada, the court may award reasonable necessary attorney fees, court costs, and expenses incurred by a party to the divorce or annulment. Court may order the fees, costs, expenses at any post-judgment interest be paid directly to the attorney, who, this is the part, who may enforce the order in the attorney's own name by any means available for the enforcement of a judgment for debt. Um, the any part of it, let's see, I'd have to look a little bit closer. Being familiar with kind of like debt recovery and stuff like that, is this going to be at the same level, or roughly the same level as the judge being able to do all kinds of fun stuff, or is this just like a typical credit card debt type of thing? But the part where they're the attorney now becomes they can charge whatever, and I'm saying that generically, whatever, on there, and then when they get the judgment, then the attorney can basically they've turned it into debt collectors, and use all these powers, which I'm very concerned over, to enforce those fees. It creates a very uneasy position for me, and I would not be for that one. Um, the child care expenses one, boy, we're just kind of jumping into it. This is Dutton's bill. Okay, if party incurs child care expenses in order to seek or maintain gainful employment or receive higher education, the court shall determine and allocate between the parties according to the parties' circumstances reasonable child care expenses. Um, a little bit of heartburn on that one. At the end of the day, um, you know, what proof is going to be allowed, and again, anyone that would say, well, the judge, what I've seen more uh, dumb decisions. I wish I could find a better way to say that, but dumb decisions as opposed to good ones. There are a couple good judges out there that I've kind of seen, but I've seen a lot of bad judges and how they handle their business, and just not a fan of leaving things up to them to do different things. But this is, it's I'm thinking of like different scenarios where people would try to do this, and it's going to introduce additional conflict with in order to seek or maintain gainful employment. So an example, a woman says, "Oh, hey, I've got to get this uh, kinder care or whatever for the kid while I'm working," but we're not looking at alternatives where like maybe he could watch the kid during that time. We have a number of scenarios there. How is that going to work? Putting that in there, it's going to be interesting. And we're also opening up the provision for medical support, dental support, and now child care support. So, years ago we had just under the child support umbrella. Again, this is more Title 40 funds, but under the child support umbrella was just the wage piece, and all of a sudden, boom, they put in medical and dental. And then now we're looking at childcare. It's just adding, pushing that envelope out just a little bit more each time. And I am all for keeping the government out of my business as opposed to, oops, uh-oh, I think I closed it. All right, well, that might fix that. Let's see here. Let me go into my history. Recently closed. Da, da. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Recently, not letting me do it. All right, it's gonna get interesting because I'm not gonna be able to find it, unfortunately. Okay, well, I think solves that little party. There were some other things in there that probably wanted to get into, but let's see if I have anything else that. Nah, not, I clicked on the wrong thing unless I'm going backwards. Yeah, darn it. Okay, well, it's one of the neat things that happens when you're live. All right, well, that's pretty much all I have then. I mean, again, I would request, again, I put the link out there for everybody just to kind of restate the whole thing, but you've got what, 5.2 million Texans, 18% of the population wanting equal shared parenting and imploring, asking Mr. Dutton to actually put it on the calendar. You've got your comments. I put a link in there, which should go out to all the different channels, telling you, or giving you the link, and then actually there you can actually see all the bills and you can respond to them. I would take some time to go through those and offer commentary on them, limited to 3,000 words, and you have until Tuesday night, Wednesday morning to get that done. And yeah, this is your chance to say something for or against. I would again ask everyone to be on their best behavior, keep the emotions and all that other stuff out of it, and just kind of stick to the facts. You can go to pissedoffparent.com, and actually while I was kind of getting everything ready, a little reminder that at the bottom there is a section here about articles for shared parenting. This thing's like updated hourly. It looks like the last one we had was a couple days ago, but they talk about shared parenting. You can get some ideas from in here, and and use that for equal shared parenting, or just get educated on different things. There's just again a lot of information there, all free. If you want to find out about your state, here's this. But that is everything I have. I'm not seeing any comments in here, so that's cool. Hope everybody's liking the new videos. I've found that I usually do three different things at one time. Uh, so Usually I'm coding, doing video stuff, and working. It's just kind of the way my brain works. Yeah, sorry everybody. So I've been kind of exploring my creative side, which actually, weirdly enough, helps me code other stuff. My brain, that's how it goes. But so I've been kind of putting out some ditties to everybody. Everybody likes them. They probably like. I'm hoping everyone likes everyone's probably except for the last one I put out there with the clown. But I'm pissed off about that. I mean, yeah, I gotta get everybody doing, better. And again, even after the legislative sessions open or over, we need to, figure out the game plan on next steps. There's some ideas are brewing. We need to get those knocked out and, start keep moving forward. I mean, it's for our kids. I mean, what else needs to be said about it? All right, so I've blathered. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Appreciate it. All right, yeah. Actually, yeah, these things take about, well, I spent all morning. Well, I was working and doing this and coding a video. Actually, I'm going to do a video on my new transformer here that I should be able to push out to my personal page and stuff here in a couple, probably about an hour. I'll get done rendering. But I was doing that and then putting together the heat map and all that fun stuff. And it took a couple hours because of dumb government data. Hate their stuff. Anyway, let's see. Oh, Steve is asking. We also need to address this at a federal level. Um, yes, and the the thing is, it's going to be more difficult. I mean, actually, you know what? On the pissed off parent, I know I always like, oh, go to my website. It's actually all on there with child support. And actually, I've reformatted stuff so the main page should just be federal stuff. Um, Let me pause that 'cause it always auto starts. But if memory serves, this is all the support. Oh wait, no, that's a whole different area. Yeah, it's a whole different area. At the federal level, brain. We've got all this, and then under my video section, I have stuff where people have talked about the whole business of child support, Title 4D, and stuff like that. It's in there. Actually, I could have swore I coded. Yes, gives the kind of the history, at least written down. Oh, I could have swore I. Oh, here, cartoon. Um, but on yeah, child support, I have it there. Oh, yeah, I also had it under the legislators. I wrote a piece about that. So this is actually at the federal level. Our reps that have been for and against the. Oh, let me take that comment off there. For and against and things that they've said about child support or equal. I'm sorry, this is on equal shared custody, but I think they also talk about child support assistance and stuff like that. But anything in that arena, we have. I went ahead and documented that, and I've actually just got. I need to get more, but I've got two just videos where people at the federal level are talking about this stuff, and then I would be remiss if I didn't bring this one up. This is on the intercourse change surgery. It was a text in that, but it basically rolls through the steps that they do in order to get bills. To say that hey they've done something and then nothing happens and all that. And all I've got to say, I mean, there's no other way to look at it. It's looking pretty accurate. I mean, there's no other way to look at that. I mean, people can get mad or upset, but when I look at that, and then I look at what's happened over the last 20 years of equal shared parenting bills, I see a trend. Hopefully, Mr. Dutton and others can prove me wrong. I will eat crow and be happy about it if I end up being wrong. But that's kind of the roadmap there. But anyway, back to the federal level. There's a lot of stuff being written on or that's been written on it. Yeah, I got info under the books, articles, and studies. Actually, I got on when we talk about the federal level, I wrote a piece with sections in it that kind of course, build on each other. But this is ways that you individually can get involved wherever you're at in the world. So it doesn't need to be waiting for some large organization or whatever. There are ways for you to get involved in the equal shared parenting movement, in your own town, in your own neighborhood, even, and things that you can do. And I've listed out a bunch of stuff there. And in my mind is there's the end Title 40 funding here. Unfortunately, is at the bottom of the list. The first part is the creating the awareness, changing the public opinion with respect to 50-50 shared parenting. If anyone's had the conversations that I've had, usually when I talk to, and I don't talk to people that are friendly, I talk to people that aren't friendly to the cause. And so I have to, work them through, where they're at, biases and whatever else, and then educate them, which is why it's so important to get educated. And then, but change their minds on it, and then of course being a good example also helps, but changing their minds so that more and more people when they see it or hear it. Oh, actually, going off in a whole different direction, I was watching Air. It's the new Michael Jordan movie, and about an hour and a half in, they talked about well, the lack of this, but they talked about it during the movie. It's actually getting into movies, and I think Ant-Man was another one that talked about had a scene that talked about this, but it's changing people's minds that have this preconceived notion on how things should work. And of course, getting rid of the people that serve as bad examples, whole different story. But the first thing, we're never going to get here without the creating the awareness, changing the public opinion, getting involved, assisting parents and children emotionally as they work through the life event, education, and that's being available, starting different things where people can, there's support groups or whatever. You can, do those things to help people, and then that, of course, changes minds. They do that. Here I talk about ensure family course for encouraging 50-50, and they kind of layer on each other. It's not like a one, two, three, four, five step. But you have the whole making sure they're encouraging it. Just because the current law says X doesn't mean you can't get it. It's all in how you do it, and there's ways to increase the possibility, the probability you will get either equal shared parenting or something like it. And sometimes it takes you have to take a hard look at yourself. It, that's a whole I know interesting area to be in, but anyway, as far as working with the family courts, getting involved, that's what a lot of it, looking at kitten videos and stuff like that isn't, that's not getting involved. Doing stuff like that, and then of course changing the laws, which is kind of what we've been talking about here, is changing those laws. I mean, if we had millions of Texans, if we go back to that Excel spreadsheet, I mean, this is good old math. If we had another, well, we got 18%, which is a hell of a lot, but if we had, say, 50%, if we had like 50 co-authors that were favorable towards that, representing 10 or 15 million, over half of the Texas population, got a better chance because more people are talking about it and doing it, at the right level. But yeah, we're just not there yet. I mean, we have the constituents, we need the involvement and all that, but there's the stuff I put in here is different things you can do. I mean, well, just to kind of jump into it. Um, this, and I'll just kind of share this, and you guys can look at the rest of them on your own. But getting people involved, there's basic stuff here. Like, share, and subscribe to all the equal shared parenting groups. That gets the algorithm. I talk about it nonstop. And the data, it's the math. It's there. And that gets the information out to a larger audience. And then your media circle. I mean, I'll pick on Steve here. He was a last comment. Steve knows of 100 people that I have no clue who they are. The whole 6 degrees of separation from everyone knows Kevin. Maybe get Kevin Bacon to do it, and then that'll work. But Steve knows 100 people I have no way of ever getting in touch with. He shares my content, and somebody reaches out to him and says, "Hey, what is all this stuff?" And then boom, conversation gets started, and things start rolling there. That's sharing it, and then also when you're sharing stuff, the different medias will say, "Oh, hey, this stuff's getting shared. We need to push this out to a larger audience because it's interesting." And then they do that. But there's that. Also, of course, when it comes time to push legislators and judges, I'd say right now having a large subscriber database goes a hell of a long way to get that done. Um, than having 705, 10, whatever subscribers. Goes a long way. If I had, say, a million, a little more clout there to do that. And then, I'm saying here also, get involved in your community, kids' school, different programs that are available. Join them. I got involved with PTA, band, and how I could. I mean, I know everyone is different and involvement, but if you join your kids' school stuff, you're going to meet other parents, and then you can talk with them and all that fun stuff, or introduce, put signs out front, or all kinds of stuff here. And I think I even put in some other stuff on that. Oh, that was, I think, a different section. But different ideas to get like car meets and stuff that you can do to get it out into the community. There's lots of different ways to do that, and I don't know if it's in this section or a different one. I think I wrote this at like 2 in the morning, so one of those things. Anyway, oh well, and I did actually pick on Texas here a little bit. Just kind of given the hardcore numbers. There's 100, or 100, there's 1,031 public, 618 charter, and 1,297 private schools. Shows the numbers, and I got them broken out. And then you basically develop a plan. Each person picks an ISD and then runs with it, and then starts churning and burning that thing. I'll talk about and yeah, if you guys like want flyers or media made for your area, shoot me an email, kind of what you wanted to say, and I'll throw something together and get it out to you. I mean, I don't mind helping out on that. I'm just not I'm not a spoon. Well, I have been a spoon feeder, but I don't mind helping out. Let's see, yeah, get with local businesses. Oh yeah, okay, I did put it in here. Host an equal shared parenting car wash, car event, golf tournament, gaming night. List goes on. I just kind of threw some things in there, and then of course get involved in politics. But anyway, that section there talks about different ways you can get involved and do different things there. Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else. And yeah, and if anyone finds something on the site that they think that we should add, send me an email. I mean, I don't know everything, but I can try to figure it out and get it coded in and help other people. Is kind of where some of this came from. But anyway, that's the thing there. And then looks like Steve, you did a follow up comment here. Last session, someone tried to call for a vote on HB 803 on the floor, but it was pulled on a technicality. What was that technicality? Um, Well, I haven't 100% verified it, but one of the guys, oh God, can't remember his name, but he had said that he got it pulled. Well, he said he pulled it because he didn't like the Republican, I think it was Mays Middleton, yeah, that did it. So he got it pulled on a point of order or something like that and got it yanked. Got a kind of a hard time believing it, quite honestly, just to be blunt about it. I would have to, pull the doc and see the reason that it was pulled. But I think it's Aorcha. I think it's like, yeah, something like that. I don't know. But again, I haven't 100% verified because in order to say that was the case, I'd have to go back to the actual document. I don't remember it, but I have to actually go back to the session, HB 803, and then when it got pulled, there should be like reasoning that they listed for having it pulled. And then from there, I can, then it'll say it was pulled because of XYZ. But I remember pretty vividly that, I mean, we did have the hearing. There was like 200 or something like that, people that spoke. It was funny. And I have a video about it on my site. One judge, Judge Wells, out of good old Tarrant County, she was the only person that opposed it. And it was kind of funny in my video. As she's talking against the bill, I'm actually pulling up the bill. And what she's saying is basically contradicted by the bill, which I thought was hilarious. But there was the only person there that opposed it. And yeah, and I think maybe one Family Law Foundation person, I think, one or two. It's going back a couple years, but I think it went through, then it got basically left pending or whatever, and then it ran out. I'll have to check that and do that. But yeah, and yeah, Steve put a note in here that if you find it, screenshot, shoot it over. Put that matter to rest. But there was a rumor that it got pulled for a technicality, which again, and I'm not saying there was a rumor, it may or may not be true. I don't know, and I try my darndest not to repeat information I haven't verified, but it's kind of how that goes. Okay, well, I think I have done everything on this one that I set out to do. I have to pull up the other thing and go through the bills again with that link that I put out there. That's where you can leave your comments. That will have the actual bills. Let me pop that up here real quick. And I can't link into it while I'm here, but because I didn't want to pull it up. But you can then from there put in the bill information, put your name, address, and then contact info, and then 3,000 words. And for or against, keep it as respectful as you can. And I don't know what's going on now with my stream. All right, there we go. Um, and go from there. That's what we can do. I would say also. Oh, I think I did already do this, but let me make sure. With Tamara Jones, 512-463-0794, extension 202. You can go ahead and if you could leave messages, positive things. Ask to please get HB 3379. Put out there for discussion. I'm not going to lie; they are not too happy at this point. Which again, not going to get into the ins and outs of it on if they should be or can be or whatever. That was part of my plea earlier. Is let's do what's right by the Texas kids and family and the 5.2 million people that are obviously in favor of it and put our personal feelings behind us and just get this thing done. That's kind of my 2 cents. But yeah, if y'all can call there and ask them to go ahead and do it, that would be great. Okay, I think that is everything. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. I am going to try to probably go take a nap. I'm old. It's past my bedtime. But again, I hope everybody's having a good day. And if I get more information on that, I will definitely put it out there. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and actually the Facebook page as well, because I have a lot of stuff on there. New things that are happening and stuff like that. Of course, the algorithm and all that. But if you get a chance, go out there and subscribe to the channels on pissoffparent.com. Until next time, y'all have a good one.
No matter the cost.